It's been another week and thankfully another positive report on the jobs front.
Here's some good news, right? The number of people filing for unemployment dropped again the first week of September. 222,000 people filed first-time unemployment claims last week. That is 6,000 fewer people than the week before. This marks the fourth straight week the number of claims has dropped.
Mark Hamrick joins us now. He's a senior economic analyst at bankrate.com. Mark, great to have you. So what do you make of this? 6,000 fewer people, is that because they found the jobs they need, or are they giving up?
There's plenty of job openings out there, Errol and Tanya. And so for those who have been displaced from their former employer, there's a very good chance that they are finding work almost immediately. And we can go back to the figures from the Labor Department, 11.2 million job openings in this country, most recently 6 million unemployed. Doesn't take a genius there to figure out that there's a huge mismatch between demand and supply of workers. And so this is a good thing, at least with respect to job security. The downside of all this, of course, is the Federal Reserve regards it as a potential or an ongoing source of inflation. And so it seems like we all just can't have what we want in this economy right now.
And so, Mark, explain to us how the job market has continued to remain so robust, so strong, as other parts of the economy appear to be struggling a bit more than at least the jobs market.
I think, ultimately, Tanya, what we really do have to ground ourselves with is the underlying thesis that much, if not all of this, is pandemic related. And we're saying that essentially nearly 3 years in. Yes, the thread that we didn't expect and don't want is Russia's invasion of Ukraine, leading to elevated prices around the world for everything from energy to food. So that's sort of that straw that has broken inflation's back. But, back to the job market, here we all were, as some of us still are, spending a lot of time in our homes during the early days of the pandemic, and that led to an outsized demand for goods, and yet production broke down in many locations around the world. We can think about the outsized demand for all kinds of products, whether it was meat or paper products, and essentially ongoing for automobiles because of the problems with semiconductors. And so the same thing has really happened with the labor market. It's just another thread of the mismatch between supply and demand. And as long as the unemployment rate remains as low as it is, as long as we have a constrained supply of workers, labor force participation still 1% below where it was before the pandemic, and we're talking about millions and millions of workers in our workforce, that is not insignificant. It's yet another source of the problem.
It's also interesting, too, because when you look beneath these numbers, you realize that so many people in many places are new employees. I mean, you see, staff needed signs everywhere. But it looks like folks are, and people are demanding higher wages as well. So everything seems to be shifting. Given the steadiness, though, of the job market, how inevitable do you think it is that interest rates may jump another 75 basis points later this month when the Fed decides what to do?
Well, I think that is essentially the leading bet with respect to what our Federal Reserve will do on the 21st of this month. And it's not just that that's another move of that magnitude, but it is rather part of the journey toward a place where interest rates get further restrictive. So we're right now in a zone that the Fed believes is essentially neutral, not adding to the economy, not taking away. And don't forget, we still have an outsized balance sheet of well over $8 trillion that is beginning to chip away at. So we're along this journey where interest rates will restrict the economy. If we get that 75 basis point move or 0.75%, it's believed we do get into that realm. But of course, interest rate sensitive parts of the economy already feeling that, with the housing market seeing a decline in sales for 6 straight months and mortgage interest rates now all the way above 6%, according to the latest Bankrate survey.
All right.
All right. Important stuff to watch closely. Mark Hamrick, thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.